Why are we back at the beginning? I have this really strange craving for a pumpkin spice latte.
Shut up, boy girl.
I can't even.
Just keep going.
The massive high school towers over all the other buildings in this bustling urban area. It's like the school stands at the center of the entire world. Hope's Peak Academy. It brings in the top students from every field imaginable, a government-funded school of privilege. They say that if you come here and manage to graduate, you'll be set for life. With hundreds of years of tradition, it sends the cream of the crop to work into the workforce every year. It was built to raise hope in the nation's future, which makes Hope's Peak a pretty fitting name. Why are you confused, Envy? You've beaten this. You know what's going on.
I don't think he's confused at the game. I think he's a little thrown off by your reaction to it.
There are two things you need to attend this school. One, you have to already be attending high school. Two, you have to be the very best at what you do. What ordinary college student could enroll here?
Of course not, they're in college.
Sorry. Whoa. I'm sorry. My head is so full of fuck right now.
I understand, but I had to point that out.
Thank you. The only way is if you're scouted by the school itself. Like, I'm not even trying to VO, I'm just reading at this point. And standing there at the gate at the ultimate school filled with the ultimate students was me. What? Where am I? I woke up with my head resting on top of a hard-wooden desk. My body felt heavy. It wouldn't be weird for me to zonk out in the middle of some kind of boring class or whatever, but what was I doing asleep here just now? It wasn't any classroom I'd ever been in before. What the heck is going on? Finally. I could finally feel my mind and body start to come back together again. And then I was awake. Or was this just another dream? A dream inside a hopeless nightmare. No, this isn't a dream. I could tell because of the stench invading my nostrils was too powerful for a dream. What an awful smell.
Who ripped ass in here?
I was in a vast, dark cavern with the barest hint of any light seeping in. Trash was piled high all across the area. This must be some kind of underground garbage pit. A heck of a situation to find myself in.
You recognize something?
The Monokuma rocket?
Yes. Okay, you did remember.
Trust me, like, you said to... You kind of made a small point of pointing that out to me.
Yeah, I was like, this video seems like nonsense, but remember, it's important later.
Yeah. But that was just the beginning of my problems. Was I going to be stuck in here till I wasted away and died? No, I can't let that happen. Not after what my good friend went through to save me. I remember all too well what had happened. Alter Ego saved me. And he used up the last bit of his strength to do it. So I can't give up now. For myself and for my friend. And with that, my pursuit of survival began. First up was to start looking for a way out of here. There. Alright. So, I want to look at this rocket. That's a rocket and a tank. I better not think too much about what I'm seeing down here.
But why don't you want to talk to the pretty girl?
Okay, you're fucking with me, right?
I'm talking about the tank. I was cracking a joke.
Sorry. Sorry, I'm still kind of reeling from everything that just happened, and I did miss the great reference to a great game. By the way, if you haven't played or picked it up, Panzer Models. Check it out. Or if you don't want to pay the, what was it?
$10.
$10 for a really great dating simulator parody, join us this coming Thursday. Nick Latency will be streaming it. Alright, so door time. It's locked. No matter how many times I pushed or pulled or kicked at it, it didn't budge. Getting out of here isn't going to be that easy. Well, if I'm not getting out of here anytime soon, I decided to look around for some food. There's plenty of food here, but it's all rotten. But that was pointless too. Next, I searched for some water. How can I be sure which liquids I can drink, and which ones are an all-around bad idea? Again, pointless. I feel like I'm blocked in on all sides. That's still not enough reason to give up, because I'm still alive. And as long as I'm alive, I'll never give up. After making that proud declaration, the next thing I decided to do was go to sleep. My sleep was deep and uninterrupted. That was my only way to preserve what little strength I had left after not being able to eat or drink. I can't be for sure, but I think at least a full day had to have passed. And all I did was sleep and sleep. It was like I was waiting for some kind of sign to come falling out of the sky. However, what fell from the sky wasn't a sign. Not exactly. Duck crunch. What the? The strange sound pierced my silent isolation, jarring me awake. As I watched, the pile of garbage jostled and formed an odd shape. Did something fall down over there? Something fell from above. What could it have been? I don't know. Let's investigate. Did a giant piece of trash just fall down here? I carefully stretched out my hand toward it. Whatever it was had tumbled down here with me.
Just a second.
A giant piece of trash? Rude.
Before she even emerged from the pile of garbage, I knew who it was. Noodle Hat.
Awful.
Well, if SF5 isn't going to give us Noodle Hat, at least Danganronpa can.
The easiest way to get it is play like 3 out of 5 rounds or 4 out of 7.
Oh, so it is still in the game?
Yeah. It's just it takes like 2 rounds to even get over that. Because you gotta get the KO in the corner so the door breaks open, and then bring them to the corner of that room and knock them out over in that corner. And then where to do that, you need a 3rd round after that. So
Got it. Okay.
this place smells awful.
Kyoko!
Indeed.
You look like you're doing better than I expected.
What are you doing here?
So...
Isn't it obvious? I'm here to help you.
I'm glad to hear that, Kyoko. You've got a bit of garbage in your hair. She gave her head a quick, sharp shake to get rid of the trash, then faced me again.
Hey.
First, I have something for you. Go ahead and eat it. We can talk once you're finished. Kyoko is best waifu.
Yeah, Kyoko is best waifu. Thank you. I snatched the bread and water that she was holding out for me. Within seconds, it was in my mouth and making its way toward my stomach. Whew, that really hit the spot. Yeah, she's way too cool for her own good. But that's part of her charm. Now that I've got all the energy, I need to keep going.
So, you still haven't given up then?
Of course not. After all, the fact that I can keep going forward is about all I'm good at.
Hmm?
Well, that's not such a bad thing to be good at.
Alright, Kyoko. But Kyoko, why'd you come rescue me?
So...
To pay a debt. Or no, to atone.
Atone?
You...
During the trial, even though you knew I was lying, you didn't say anything.
So, you knew that I knew?
Indeed.
But even though I knew, I did nothing to help you. I abandoned you.
Don't say that. You didn't abandon me.
No, that's exactly what I did. I abandoned you in order to save my own life. You were trying to save me, and I couldn't bring myself to do the same for you.
However...
But listen, not that I'm trying to make excuses, but... there was a reason that I had to survive, no matter the cost.
Ooh, that got a reaction out of me. Why did you have to survive?
It's true.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you everything. The reason I have to survive
In other words...
is so that I can do what I came to this school to do.
What?
I made up my mind to come to Hope's Peak Academy for one very important reason.
Oh god, more reactions. So you have some reason for coming to Hope's Peak?
Indeed.
That's right. At least I did once.
Once?
Until recently, I'd forgotten what it was.
You forgot? But that's... everything we talked about like a chapter or so ago.
Yep. Actually, I believe it was at the beginning of this one.
Yeah, you know what, I think you're
Or
right.
maybe the end of 4.
Close enough. Then, is it really true? You lost your memory?
Makoto.
Do you remember, Makoto? Do you remember the first thing that happened to each of us as soon as we arrived at this school?
The first thing? You're talking about when we all had that sleepy fun time, right? I fainted, and then I woke up. I was trapped here.
That's right.
I fainted too, and when I woke up, I noticed a strange feeling of separation within myself, a disconnect.
It would seem...
Thinking back on it now, at that point my memory was gone. At that time, I'd forgotten. I couldn't remember why I'd come to this school, and I couldn't remember what my ultimate ability was.
But what would make you forget all that?
Suddenly turning British. Strange, isn't it? It's hard to imagine it happened by chance. It seems much too convenient.
Are you saying you think you lost your memory because...
Indeed.
I don't think. I'm positive it was the work of the mastermind. They stole my memory.
But why would they want to do that?
There's only one reason I can come up with. Because of my purpose and my ability, somehow they would interfere with the mastermind's plans.
So the mastermind just stole them from you?
However...
And it could also mean, somehow my memories may be connected to the mystery of this school and the mastermind. Which is why I have to get them back. That's why I've been investigating things by myself this whole time.
But if But if what you say is true, why didn't you ask the rest of us to help you?
Why is that?
If I did that, and we all worked as one, the mastermind would have noticed right away. Plus, there's always the chance that the mastermind is actually one of us.
What?
Correct.
Well, don't make too big a deal of it. It's just a possibility. But since it is a possibility, we can't ignore it, right?
The mastermind. One of us.
One of us.
One of us. If she believed that, then of course she couldn't trust anyone around her. In which case, it only makes sense that she would look into her missing memory herself.
However,
That being said, there was a limit to what I could do by myself, which is why I asked you to help me.
But why me?
Because among everyone, you were least likely to be the mastermind. That was just intuition, but
I see. Your intuition was right, though. There's no way an ordinary kid like me could have been the mastermind.
I understand. I should understand everything.
Yeah, no, being in love with Kyoko is the correct choice.
it is the only choice.
What were you saying? Tell me which tank is your favorite, and I'll tell you why you're wrong. And I think we just lost Mike.
My goal isn't to get out of here.
Or we may have just lost me. Hold on. You back? Am I back? Bueller? Okay, you're back.
I didn't go anywhere.
Oh, then it must have been me. Because I heard the someone leave sound and then someone come back sound.
Yeah, it had to be you.
Okay.
Because I've just been sitting here waiting for your guh.
No. Well, right now we're going through the flashback of my goal isn't to get out of here.
To stay
Oh, I already did that.
Yeah, I figured as much. Yeah. It's just like the dream I had before, but why did that just happen?
listen.
Are you okay?
Oh, yeah, it's nothing. It is nothing, right? Technical difficulties on a ZTG stream? I think I just disconnected from Discord again. Give me a second. I need to... Where is Discord? Why are you not up? Open. There we go. Yay, technical difficulties.
Not again.
Yay, technical difficulties. It
Oh, you're
truly
back
is.
again.
Yeah, it truly is a ZTG stream.
Yeah.
Hey,
All right, it's all you.
Even now, I still trust you, you know? It's just, I'm not used to relying on others.
correct.
I know I never asked you for help in the right way, so I understand if you're not convinced.
Honestly, I was convinced. I think that's just her personality. Alright, so we'll talk to Kyoko again to continue this going. You said you had a reason for doing all that investigating on your own. So, how'd that turn out? Were you able to remember anything?
So,
I think there's still a lot I don't remember, but at the very least, I was finally able to recall my purpose and my ability.
Ooh, my reaction is peaked. You mentioned your ability.
My ability, what everyone should have known me for. I'm the ultimate detective.
Oh, that's not obvious.
Sherlock fucking Holmes could have figured that out.
Like, I had a feeling that it was something along that lines just because of how she, you know, investigates. Like, it made too much sense. So I was like, okay, she has to be like the ultimate detective or investigator or something.
Fucking Watson could have figured that one out.
The ultimate detective?
Correct.
And the reason I came to Hope's Peak Academy, there was someone I had to find here in the school.
Reaction. You had to find someone? Who?
So,
Well, he was the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy.
The headmaster? Why did you want to find the headmaster?
Because he's my father.
Bum bum bum. What?
in other words,
I was separated from him as a child. As it turns out, he became the headmaster of Hope's Peak.
Kyoko's dad. Is Hope's Peak's headmaster?
All the apostrophe S's.
Yeah. Then that explains when Alter Ego told us he thought the headmaster was involved. Huh?
No matter what?
So,
Let's do the flashback again. Saw you.
My memory hadn't come back at that point, but when he said that, I felt strange. It makes perfect sense now, of course, since my whole purpose for coming here was to find him.
That makes sense.
However,
But listen, Makoto. I want to make this perfectly clear so there's no misunderstanding. I said the headmaster wasn't the mastermind, but I didn't say that to protect him. I only said what I felt based on what I'd seen when I snuck into the headmaster's room.
Then what did you see there?
so
The room had been ransacked. The shelves were a mess, the desk drawers dumped on the floor. The only conclusion is that someone who didn't know where anything was had been in there.
You mean the mastermind, right?
it's true.
That was my assumption, yes, and to confirm my suspicion, I decided to investigate the second floor of the dorms using the key I'd found.
But why there?
Because I also found this in the headmaster's room.
This is some kind of map?
Indeed.
It's a layout of the entirety of Hope's Peak Academy. I found it in the headmaster's room along with Mokuro's profile and that key. The map showed that the second floor was home to a number of rooms meant for faculty use. Some of the staff must have had to stay overnight from time to time, and I figured the headmaster would have some kind of private room there. I assumed that if that were true, that room would likely hold more clues, so I went to check.
Correct.
And that's when I finally remembered. I remembered that my purpose was to find the owner of that room.
So you went there to see if the headmaster really did have a private room there?
However,
But once I got there, I noticed that the second floor of the dorms didn't have any cameras or monitors.
Sweet baby reactions! So, what was it like? That part of the school, I mean.
It's hard to describe. All I can say is,
I
the moment I saw it, I realized whatever's going on in this school is more horrific than we ever imagined.
What do you mean?
so
I can't explain it. You need to see it for yourself. And I'm sure you'll get your chance soon enough.
It sounds like it must be important. And really ominous. We're talking to Kyoko.
however,
Of course, once I got into the second floor of the dorms, there were no cameras and no monitors. Which is why I had no idea what was going on in the rest of the building.
More reactions. It has to do with Makuro Ikusaba, doesn't it?
however,
Half and half, Mendax. We also did the alternate ending and everything, so...
Yeah.
Just to be perfectly clear, I didn't kill her. And I know it wasn't you, either.
I know you're right, but that just means... everyone but you and me had an alibi. So then who did kill her?
Anyway,
What I can say for sure is that the mastermind is directly involved. To begin with, the point of the class trial of Mokuro Ikusaba was to get me killed.
Get you killed?
indeed.
I stole that key and disappeared, and in retaliation they wanted to draw me out and eliminate me.
Correct.
That was the point of the class trial.
It was?
The mastermind knew they couldn't interfere directly.
You mean because of the school regulations?
That's right.
Exactly.
Within minimal restrictions, you are free to explore Hope's Peak Academy at your discretion.
In other words,
The mastermind is adamant about following the rules, and with that rule in place, they couldn't step in. Since they couldn't kill me themselves, they tried to use the class trial to do it.
The mastermind couldn't step in because of the rules? That makes it sound like the mastermind themselves is somehow bound by the school regulations.
hey,
There's one other thing I'd like to point out about the murder of Mokuro Ikusaba.
What's that?
There was a point where Mukuro may not have become the victim. It could have been you, Makoto.
Ooh, that raised my reaction. I could have been the victim?
indeed.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Do you mean during the night?
I can hear them, you know. The footsteps of the god of death.
What?
I can hear the god of death as he moves. That ability naturally draws me into cases just like this,
Anyway,
which is exactly what happened with you. I was in the dorms and I had a sudden sense of dread. I looked down the stairwell, and I saw a white shadow cross the corridor. I gave chase right away. As I followed it, I saw the shadow go into your room.
correct.
I ran into your room and I saw what was happening. I intervened immediately, of course.
However,
That wasn't the end of things, of course. I stopped them, but that led to... Whoever the masked assailant was, they ended up dead.
correct.
And their murder was disguised, and the dojo key wound up in my room. It all has to be the work of the mastermind, in an attempt to use the class trial to eliminate me.
Holy reaction, Batman! So, all of this would mean that whoever killed Makuro is also the mastermind, right?
Indeed.
I don't have conclusive evidence, but that's what I think.
But that's really bad if true. It means the mastermind can kill whoever they want if they feel like it. But wait, doesn't that create another contradiction? The mastermind wanted to use the class trial and kill you because they couldn't interfere, right?
Correct.
You're right. That is a contradiction. And it's not just Mokuro. They needed the class trial to kill me, but seemed ready to kill you in your room. Everything they did is a contradiction.
So, what does it all mean?
In other words,
It means that the mastermind is the one who's been cornered.
Huh?
Makoto.
Just a little more. A little more and I should be able to figure out the mastermind's identity. The identity of the other ultimate despair.
The other ultimate despair?
There's no doubt that Mokuro is the ultimate despair and that she's dead. But I don't think the ultimate despair is just one person.
It's not?
Indeed.
If you think about it, the ultimate despair seems to implicate whoever caused that event.
You're talking about...
That's right.
What happened a year ago. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history.
the tragedy. Whoever's responsible for that, they're the ultimate despair?
It would seem.
That despicable group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair.
Then they're...
Indeed.
Make no mistake, they're the root of all the evil that has forced us to go through this. That is the ultimate despair. And that is our real enemy.
I want to continue.
I told you you would want to.
I want to continue so bad. Yes, I will save 5 alive. Aw, that's cute. Because we've already made a fucking short circuit reference earlier.
Yeah. And the fact that if Makoto had died the way he was supposed to during that punishment, there would only be 5 alive.
Very true. Alright, so we're going to wrap it up here for tonight on that fuck you of a cliffhanger.
Told you you wouldn't get answers this week.
Jesus, yeah, no answers at all. No answers whatsoever. But anyway, yeah, this is, shit's getting real. I mean, you know, what a twist if Hero's the mastermind, and he's just the greatest actor of all time. But yeah, no, so, this is gonna pain me for the next couple of days.
You're so on board right now, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, anybody who's not on board right now is,
Either missed the beginning of the game or
yeah, either
has no soul.
Yeah, exactly. No, this is really interesting. Because yeah, shit has definitely gone down. Chapter 6 is the last chapter, correct?
There's an epilogue after, but yeah.
Okay. But yeah, so, yeah, who knows? Depending how things go, we might be, finishing up Tuesday and or Wednesday.
Or Monday.
Or Monday. You never know.
I know you don't give a shit about
Yeah,
MSX, so...
Fuck Metal Gear. Fuck Metal Gear right now. Holy crap, I do not care about Metal Gear right now. Like, I need to know.
You need answers.
I need answers. So, most likely Monday will be more of this. If not the finale, Tuesday definitely will be. So, there's that. Look
You've
forward
got a
to
fever, and the only cure is more Danganronpa.
that. Yeah, with a side of cowbell.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that's what we're kind of getting at when I was saying Hero is the mastermind, and he's just the greatest actor of all time. That he's playing an idiot so well that, you know, we believe him that he's an idiot, and we just don't think twice about him. But yeah, I'm super interested to see where this is going. It's definitely, in terms of story, it's gone to 11 at this point. So, like I said, Monday and possibly Tuesday, depending how things go, we will be finishing up Danganronpa.
No, it'll be Monday.
It'll be Monday. So,
Well, I mean, I guess it might technically be Tuesday. Maybe.
yeah, it depends how long Chapter 5 takes us.
Well, I don't think once it gets started that you're going to want to stop. I'm just saying it might be like 2:30 in the morning on Tuesday if
Fair
you're on
point.
the East Coast.
Fair point, fair point. So yeah, so that's the plan for the rest of this. Tomorrow, I forgot that I had made a plan with my mom. She wants to do something tomorrow night, so I am gonna go do that. Sorry. Mike will be soloing something. He might be doing some solo Pokken. He might be doing something else. Who knows?
I finished Gravity Rush.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I didn't watch the Gravity Rush VOD yet. I actually haven't highlighted it either, so that's something I need to do.
I need to go back and highlight the Hitman VODs if you haven't done that.
No, I highlighted those.
Oh, okay.
I did everything but the StarCraft VN.
Oh, okay.
Because I didn't
wasn't
know
sure
if
if you
Nick was
did,
going to continue that or not.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you did the beta, but I was just gonna do just the the?
I think
core
I did
game.
the beta, but I did do, I believe I highlighted the core game as well.
Okay.
I'll have to double check, but I think I did. So yeah, tomorrow will be something with Mike. Sunday will be, again, something with Mike. Monday we've already discussed. Tuesday will be something. Depending on what all happens, we'll figure something out. You'll find out on Tuesday when we find out. We might know at the end of Danganronpa on Monday, so you might find out then as well. Again, Wednesday will be Mike with something. I believe, if I remember correctly, Nick said he's going to continue with the StarCraft visual novel. So that
He finished that yesterday.
Oh, did he finish that? Okay.
Yeah, that's why it's tank waifus this week.
Oh, that's right. I'm an idiot. Wow. I'm still reeling from this whole thing. Yeah, so tank waifus, Panzer models, tank dating simulator. Check that out Thursday. You will not be disappointed. It's hilarious. It's a great parody of the dating simulator genre. Even if you don't like dating simulators, you will enjoy this. The writing is really good. It's really short too, so it's not like you're having to spend 14 hours to get through one arc. Personal experience.
Okay. You were talking about a different one because, like, to be fair, Danganronpa is kind of long, but it really is only one arc, and it's so good.
Right. But that's because there's more of a story to it, whereas Dandelion was...
he's a cat boy and an idiot.
It's either he was a cat boy or a bunny boy. Like, and then it was just you being this Nancy of a human. Anyway, but yeah, that was 14 hours just to get through one arc of that dating simulator. Tank Waifus is 3 if you're taking it slow, and then all subsequent playthroughs are like 30 minutes.
They can even go faster than that.
Yeah, it can even go faster with that depending on how much you want to just skip through. But no, it's funny, it's hilarious. It's definitely worth your time at least to watch a playthrough of it. Friday, technically back with Mike. Just remember, schedule is subject to change here at ZTG. Then Saturday is the both of us, which will most likely definitely be Pokken.
Most likely, definitely. I approve.
Because I have played some of it. It is actually super fun. Gengar is pretty baller. I don't care. This is before hearing, apparently Japan considers him S tier. Gengar's baller. Yeah, and that kind of brings us back around to the top. Things should start to sort of go back to normal in terms of streaming schedule and times. Because after this, it's Uncharted 3. I'm going to get back onto that and not have horrendous technical issues. And then, yeah, we've got a pretty big game crunch. A lot of good stuff is coming out in the next couple of months. So, you know, follow us for some really great video game coverage. We're actually going to be doing a lot of new releases, stuff like that. Because before we were just kind of playing whatever we felt like. But this year so far is shaping up to be a spectacular year for video games.
And we also all have current gen consoles now.
Yeah. So that definitely helps things out. So yeah, that's the schedule at least for what's coming up. Check down below. You will see our streaming schedule, and when we go live, like I said, things are subject to change. We usually tell you in advance. So definitely follow us on Twitter at ZTGamesNet. If you're one of those people that don't get their Twitch notifications in a relatively timely manner, Twitter's a really good place to kind of keep track of us. If we do have any bigger announcements that can't wait till the next time we stream or whatever, we usually post them there as well. Also, check us out on youtube.com at youtube.com/ZeroToleranceGamesTV, where we export about 95% of the stuff we do and put them into easy-to-view and find playlists for your viewing pleasure. Great way to see a lot of the stuff we've done in the past. So if you're new to Danganronpa tonight, check us out on YouTube. Everything up until now is there. You can see all the cases. You can see sort of my breakdown at the end of Chapter 2, which...
It was fucking nuclear.
It was nuclear. Yeah, it was pretty bad. And then you can see my rebound. And you can join all of the emotional roller coaster that is Danganronpa. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that follow button. 7 days a week of streaming, something a little different every day, until Dark Souls 3 comes out.
And then Dark Souls every day.
Yeah, then there's going to be Dark Souls 8 days a week, because we're going to create a new day, so we can stream for an 8th day. But yeah, so that's it. That's what we do here on Zero Tolerance Games. Thank you for checking us out. Shoutouts to Lala Show for showing up. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Shoutouts to Mindex and Envy. Envy, as always, for being super, super cool and dealing with us. Mindex for being Mindex and showing up here and there. I saw that our viewers and stuff were up at some point, so thank you to all of you who lurked for whatever period of time you did. I know you're probably not here now, but I'm going to shout you out anyway. But yeah, so that's going to do it for us tonight. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in for Zero Tolerance Games. My name is Jason Cupcake Troll Gordon, joined with
Mike Psychotic Kelly.
And until next time.